Hello! Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. It's Thursday night. I'm trying something different. I'm standing up tonight because I always feel like, maybe I'm not, I'm just kind of not as excited as I should be on Thursday night. So here I am standing, and I am representing, I'm so excited about this shirt. This is from Stephanie Mullen, my dear friend Stephanie Mullen from the Shauna Stef channel. This was their Rampant Design Tools logo, so I love this, so I'm representing them tonight. Oh my goodness, we've got, everybody is here already. Holy cow, we got Sue, we got Tara, we got Rick, Kathy, Eric, Becky, Siggy. Hi Siggy, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. Hey, so I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. If you're new to the channel, we're gonna spend about the next hour or so talking about all things cruising. And in particular, we're going to bring you up to date on some of our group cruises and some of the things that are going on out there, and maybe talking about some of the news that's going on as well. And of course, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I will do my very best to answer them. And if I can't answer, my lovely wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera as usual. Normally on Thursday nights, we try to bring you some of our travel partners. Everybody's kind of traveling right now, which is kind of funny. A lot of my travel partners are traveling, like the Utopia of the Seas just arrived in Port Canaveral. A lot of my Royal Caribbean friends are over there right now. So we're working on getting some more of those travel partners up in the near future. But tonight, let's talk about cruising, and let's in particular talk about the group cruises. And of course, if we can help you in any way, as the screen says right alongside me, our services are 100% free to you. There is a growing trend with some travel advisors that are starting to charge fees, maybe a planning fee, cancellation fee, something like that. So far, it is working well for us. Just to keep it clean, we never paid a fee in the about 15 years that we use the travel advisor. So we're trying to keep that tradition going. So we thank you so much for all of your support. And if there's anything we can do to help you, just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. All right. Let's talk about some of our group cruises, because we got some amazing deals going on right now. Let me go ahead and bring up, to start with, let's bring up the Norwegian Aqua. So this is a really good one. We're sailing May 31st through June 7th, and this ship is going to be brand spanking new at that point. I think it's only going to be here for a month or so. We've got 5 cabins left at our group rate right now, just 5. I think we've got 3 balconies and we've got 2 interiors left at our group rate. Now, I've been saying that our balconies are about $1,000-ish off. I can't tell you the exact price because I'm not permitted to do that. I was wrong. It's actually a bit more than that. The prices are really, really good because the Aqua has continued to go up in pricing because people are really getting excited about this ship. This is going to be the third of the Prima class ship. And what's going to be very interesting about this ship, and there you go. There's the rare times that you actually get to see Rebecca on the show. So I'll just leave it parked there for a second so y'all get a good look at her. There you go. Yeah, you love staring at yourself, don't you? He's looking right at the camera. Okay, moving on. So this is going to be a 7-day. I think she's like, move the picture, move the picture. So this is going to, I did. It's 10 seconds behind, hon. So she's watching a big TV behind this camera, which is about 10 seconds behind what I'm doing. So it makes it really interesting.
So's my phone.
So I like do this and then I wait for myself to do it on the screen. So it's all kind of fun. It's all kind of meta. Anyway, we're having fun. I have not had a drink. So for those of you wondering, I have not had a drink. I probably should. I should probably make an old fashioned. But it's going to be a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise. We're going to be coming out of Port Canaveral. We're going to go to Puerto Plata, the Dominican Republic. Maybe we're going to get muddy. If you haven't seen my video on getting muddy, we got really, really muddy, or at least I got really, really muddy the last time. St. Thomas, beautiful place for snorkeling. There's some really good food tours down there as well. We're going to Tortola. Definitely good snorkeling in Tortola, British Virgin Islands, and we'll do some more cruising. Then we're going to hit Great Stirrup Key. So actually 4 stops in a 7-night Eastern Caribbean. That's a little bit unusual. Usually it's only 3 stops with 3 sea days. Here we're going to have 4 stops and just the 2 sea days. So we're going to go to their private island, Great Stirrup Key. But it's going to be May 31st through June 7th.
It's theoretically. You and I don't have a good track record with Great Stirrup Key.
Hopefully we're going to get there this time. Now the exclusive group offer actually, it says 15% off select stateroom categories. That was when we first booked this cruise, and that's where we were. Well, now that the prices have continued to climb, our prices are still holding right where they were. They're a bit more than 15% off right now. And if you take the free at sea package, you will get an additional $100 of onboard credit in addition to the free at sea. And what's really cool about the group is, with the free at sea, we have a couple of different ways that we can set that up for you on a normal cruise. Well, when we're on a group cruise, we literally have like 20 different ways that we can take advantage of the free at sea, depending on what you want and don't want in the package. But if you go with the package, you're going to get an additional $100 of onboard credit, which is absolutely awesome. So the Aqua is the third of the Prima class. And what's really interesting about this ship, so the Prima and the Viva were basically built at the same time, right? One ship was coming right behind the other. And so they really didn't have any time to, take in any of the consumer feedback into what people like, didn't like. One of the complaints that we've heard multiple times is that the public spaces are a little bit small on the Prima and the Viva. So I'm very curious to see, have they expanded some of those public spaces on here? And of course, you see right there in the picture, they have brought the Aqua Slide Coaster, which if you're familiar with the Aqua Mouse on the Disney ship, this is basically that on steroids. And you've got 2 of them side by side, so they're going to race. What's kind of cool is that they're not exactly the same, as you can see. One of them actually has more loops in it, which should make it a lot of fun. So they got rid of the racetrack, which I think was a good idea. It kind of seemed out of place on the Prima class ship anyway. So the Aqua is the ship that we're going to be on. There's another really, 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 really good look at that Aqua Slide Coaster.
It will be interesting to see if they charge for it, because most cruise lines don't charge for water slides.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't. I mean, they do charge for the go-karts.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they actually try to slide. I hope they don't, because Disney doesn't for the Aqua Slide or Aqua Mouse. So I'm hoping that they don't do that.
Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Hey, Aaron's here now too. Thanks, Rick. I'm already in trouble. Hey, Cynthia. Hello, Canada. Welcome to the show. So good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in. And of course, if you guys have questions about all things cruising, go ahead and drop them in. If you got questions about the group cruise, drop them in there. We'll do our best to get the answers. And if you just joined us, we are talking about our Norwegian Aqua Group Cruise that's coming up May 31st through June 7th, sailing from Port Canaveral. This is going to be a fun one. They've got the Glow Court. They've got, of course, the Vibe Beach Club. The Vibe Beach Club has really taken on a life of its own now, especially with these new Prima Class ships. They seem to have expanded them. This is exclusively for adults, for guests 18 and over. You can use the Vibe Beach Club. This is not included. This is an extra charge above the cruise fare. But if you want to get away from the kids, this is the place to do it on the Vibe Beach Club.
And I have to say, on the Prima Class, it looks like there might be just a smidgen of shade, unlike all the other ones where there's zero shade.
Yeah.
I mean, not much.
Very big on shade because she melts.
Well,
if you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz, I'm melting. That's her in the sun on a cruise ship.
That and I burn easily. So
yes, she does. She burns really easily. So she's always looking for. If you want to know where the shade is on a ship, look for Rebecca. She will be in the shade wherever that is. I love that. So we've not been on the Prima Class ship yet. I really love the Breakaway class because I love the oceanfront. And then what they've done on the Prima Class, they've expanded that now with the Ocean Boulevard. So I'm really excited to see the Ocean Boulevard and a broadened out area of that. And of course, you got the Ocean Walk, the Infinity Beaches on the side is super cool. And of course, the Haven just went to like a whole new level. And what I love about the Haven, it's all moved to the back now. It's not just sitting on the very, very front of the ship. I think this is a better spot for it because when you're in that infinity pool, you are just looking right back over the back of the ship, which is absolutely lovely. And of course, there's a lot less wind back there. They have all the glass and everything. But when you have the big suites in the back, when you have the club in the back, you don't have to put up all that glass, to block the wind because you're in the back of the ship. So I think this is absolutely lovely. I also think that's the model that Virgin Voyages could have followed where they put that big net on the back of Deck 15. They could have done a pool and a setup just like this. Oh, that would have been stunning. So the accommodations, they are absolutely beautiful. Take your pick. If I can book you into any cabin that's available on this particular sailing, it's just that the group rates are only going to apply. I got three balconies. I want to say they're the BB balconies. So they're pretty much all over the ship, pretty much any deck you want to be on. And then I've got a couple of interiors left. But I can book you into any cabin that you want. If you want to come join us, Rebecca and I are going to be there. I think we're plus or minus 30 or so people all going together. I like these smaller groups. It's not too big, but I like these groups, 50 or less. And that seems to be what we're getting on a lot of our group cruises, which is absolutely fabulous. But these rooms are absolutely beautiful. I probably need to update this some more. Like I said, the 15% off prevailing rate, that's actually wrong. And it's actually lower or more. It's higher than that 15%. But they're absolutely beautiful rooms. So that's what we've got going on with, I'm just going to shoot right back to the top here. So it is the Norwegian Aqua. You get to sail with Rebecca and I and a bunch of other like-minded friends. The ship will only be out for about a month or so. So you'll be one of the first to actually get on the ship. Like she's not even doing a European season. She's coming straight to Port Canaveral, and this is where she will launch. So that's it. 5 cabins left. That's it. Once I sell those 5 cabins or they get recalled, which they will probably do like more towards the fall, then my prices are gone. So if you want to come join us, 5 cabins left on the Norwegian Aqua. Doesn't that sound exciting? It's really exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Then so we've got 2 more. We've got 2 more going on. I'm going to show you our Alaska cruise next. Oh my goodness, folks. Here, I only have a few cabins left here too, and our pricing is upwards. Again, I can't really say, but it's around-ish $2,200 off the prevailing rate because we have bonus amenities. So we have bonus amenities on this cruise that are worth about $1,200. We've got prepaid gratuities, and we've got the Prestige Select Drink Package added to our booking. So one, the price is low, and then we throw in the bonus amenities that you don't get through the public site. So you're saving around $2,200 right now on this particular cruise. So if Alaska is on your list, you want to go on a small ship. This is only 1,200 people. 1,200 people on this entire ship, the Oceana Riviera. It's going to be her first season in Alaska because up until now, Oceana has been sending one of their smaller ships up there. I think the Regatta, the Nautica.
Oh, it's definitely one of the R-class ships.
It's one of the R-class ships, 650 guests, which is, we took the Serena for the holidays last year. So it's one of those. So this is a 1,200 passenger ship. And we've got two categories of verandas left on this particular ship. We're going to be sailing June 26th through July 8th, 2025 from Seattle. So that's 12 nights. So it's not just like a 7-night, go out and get back to Seattle. We've got 12 nights. So we're really going to be hitting some very nice ports out there, 8 ports in total. That, my friends, is from, when did we go to Alaska, Rebecca?
2008.
2008. There we are standing in front of the Mendenhall Glacier. Isn't that adorable? So that's how long it's been since we've been there. We got to get back up there. So check out this itinerary. It's amazing. It actually just changed about a week ago or so. They had to make a tweak. So now we are sailing out of Seattle on July 26, 2025. Cruise the Inside Passage. We're going to be in Ketchikan. Look at the time, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. A long time in Ketchikan. Then we're going to Juneau, Alaska, 11:30 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. All kinds of time to explore Juneau. Icy Strait Point, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nice long stop. I'm going to see how many zip lines I can get done during that time. Just really wear myself out. We're going to go cruising Hubbard Glacier. Going to be in Haines, Alaska from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's 13 hours. Plenty of time to get out and see stuff. Sitka is going to be 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. That is scheduled to be a port, tender port. At least that's what it has said on the schedule in the past. I'm going to double check that. Wrangell, Alaska from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That is a tender port. And Klawak, which is, I think this year, I think this is the first year they're doing it. It's another, port stop by the Hoona tribe, the same tribe that set up Icy Strait Point. So this is another joint collaboration with Norwegian Cruise Line and the Hoona tribe. It was their collaboration that set up Icy Strait Point. Oceania is owned by Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. So this is essentially another Norwegian Cruise Line ship coming in. Then we will have a day of cruising. And then look, 12 hours in Victoria. Victoria so often is just relegated as that, well, we got to stop here because it's the law. We got to stop in Canada. So what's the minimum? Okay, 2 hours, 59 minutes. That's all we're going to do. Well, you're actually going to have a full 12 hours in Victoria to go see things. So we're talking about maybe some afternoon tea, go see some museums, go see some stuff. So you got all kinds of time. So this is the itinerary. It's a long itinerary, even though it's round trip Seattle, 12 nights. So it's almost like doing one of those land sea tours with the amount of time that you're actually going to have on the ship. And we've got a really nice group of folks going up there this time. I'm going to take a quick look over here. Hey, Betty's here. Chuck's here. Peggy, do we know when the Juneau capacity restriction kicks in? Actually, there is a restriction right now that is in effect. I'm trying to remember because there's like Sitka, Juneau, Skagway. They're all like doing things. I think Juneau is still holding point, and then they're pushing for another step. But if I recall correctly, that's the one that did not. Is that the one that failed initially, and now they just got the new signatures or something? I can't keep up because so many Alaska ports are trying to do some restrictions. But I know that there are restrictions right now, for sure. And I think, if I recall correctly, Juneau is the one that's trying to do no Saturdays. One of them's trying to do no
Juneau was trying to do no ships over 200 people on Saturday.
On Saturday. So it is Juneau. So, yeah.
But I don't know where that is in. And you never know when, like, say, Key West, the governor may or may not allow these to actually go through.
So far, they're all going through. The governor's not stepping in. So far,
yeah, I don't know.
Going through.
Can't say I know much about Alaska politics.
Yeah. So as of right now, I know there are some restrictions. I think that Saturday restriction is the next thing that they're trying to push. It would probably kick in. I don't know if it can kick in 2025 because all the schedules are already set, but it could, and then they could disrupt things. I think that may be part of what happened with us. Haines was originally going to be Skagway, and Skagway is definitely a very busy. So one of the things going on with Alaska, there's over 60 ships at the height of the season, 60 ships. And now we got Virgin Voyages is coming in 2026. So there are so many ships up there right now. It does not surprise me that they've started making this push to say, you know what? And some of the ships are just, honestly, to me, they're too big. We really shouldn't have 5,000 passenger ships going up to Alaska. That's a really big ship for Alaska. I like 3,000 and below, like right in that 3,000 range. I think that's a nice size of ship. But I don't know for certain when they're going to kick in, Peggy. I'm sorry.
Well, I can say that June 29th, when we're in Juneau, is a Sunday, so won't affect us if the Saturday
it will
thing
not affect
passes.
us. So, and then there's a quick look at the schedule. And, you know, the cool thing about an Alaska cruise is kind of like a river cruise, but on a big ship. You know, you're in that inside passage. You got land on both sides. It's a really cool experience. If you've never done it, it is a super cool experience. And I certainly encourage you at least once to go ahead and do the land tours as well. Now, there is a land tour that we can attach to this cruise. It's around, I want to say it's like around 3,000 or something like that. If you wanted to attach, they have a Denali portion that we can go ahead and attach with Oceana. Now, here's those amenities I was talking about. So the prepaid gratuities. Now, just like the last ship, there are a lot of cabins, not a lot of cabins, but there are a lot of categories available on this particular sailing, and I can book you in any one of them, including the suites. But if you want the group amenities and you want the group pricing, I have two particular veranda categories that you can book into. If you do, you'll get the prepaid gratuities, and you'll get the upgrade to the Prestige Select, which is a $720 value. So what is that? I thought, you know, drinks were included on this ship and all of that. Well, I'll explain that in a second. First of all, the ship is only 66,000 tons, gross tons. That's very, very small. I mean, it's not even pushing 100,000 gross tons, which is like some of the Princess ships or even up to that size. This would easily just sit right on top of the Quantum of the Seas, no problem. It would just sit on there, no problem. Or the Quantum could just tow it behind like a dinghy if it wanted to. But what you get, and actually this Simply More has changed a little bit. So when you book an Oceana cruise, automatically the airfares are gone now. They finally got those out because they were kind of sometimes they just weren't the best deal. So when you book an Oceana cruise, you get free shore excursion credit up to $1,200, depending on the length of the cruise. With our cruise, you're going to get $600 shore excursion credit for the cabin. You're going to get free champagne, wine, and beer for lunch and dinner. You're going to get free specialty dining. What that means is all of the restaurants, all of the meals, they are included in your cruise fare. And I'm going to tell you, the main dining room experience that we had on the Serena was better than specialty dining in most of the other cruise lines that we have sailed on. You get free soft drinks and specialty coffee included. Now, there are some alcoholic versions that are not included. And then you get free unlimited Wi-Fi. So that's just standard on every Oceana cruise. Now, that Prestige Select drinks upgrade, that means you can get a drink anytime you want, not just with lunch and dinner.
And you can get cocktails
and you can get cocktails. We can get cocktails. We can have our old fashioned while we're looking at the glaciers. I'm so excited. I am so ready for this. Don, man, when you watch this playback later, Don, you and I are going to have an old fashioned on this thing. So, when you book with us and you go ahead and get that the group rates, you actually go ahead and add in the gratuities and that drink select. So at the very least, you're saving about $550 because you would be paying that much for the gratuities with everything else. But our rates, I mean, again, I cannot tell you exactly what they are, but just say around 1,000-ish less than the current rate for the same categories on the public site. So the rates are really good. If you want to go to Alaska and you want to go on Oceana, this would be it. Siggy's like, whoa, VV, yeah, where you been? Come on now. It was, when did they announce this? 2 months ago, maybe? Virgin Voyages, the Brilliant Lady is coming to Alaska. I'm still scratching my head on that one. I'm not so sure about that one. Maybe it's a good idea. It's going to be very interesting. People are excited. So here's why they're doing it. Let me just take this off for just a hot second. So Virgin Voyages is always polling their sailors, and they're always asking, hey, what can we do different? What can we do better? And one of the questions on the latest survey was, where would you like us to go? And they said overwhelming, and it shocked them too, was Alaska. Everybody's like, we want to go to Alaska. We want to go to Alaska. And I'm thinking, there's 60 ships going to Alaska, but they all want to go to Alaska the Virgin way. So sometime this year, now they originally said this summer, that they would be announcing the itineraries and the bookings would go on sale. I think it's going to be more towards the end of the year. And the reason for that is because I already told you there's 60 ships up there. Where are they going to go? First of all, it's really hard to get a slot in Alaska because where are you going to go? There's already all these ships up there. Virgin, the new kid on the block, guess what? You get the scraps. You don't get the first pick of anything. They're going to get the 100th pick of everything. And so I think they're going to have to be a little creative with their itineraries.
Well, and plus, there's more and more ports, like we said earlier, putting in restrictions.
So they're putting in restrictions, which might be hampering some of what their ideas were. Like maybe Virgin was going to try and slip in on Saturday in Juneau. Well, guess what? They may not be able to slip in on Saturday anymore in Juneau. So I think Virgin's got a big hill to climb to get their itinerary put together. So I think they're actually doing it right. They're like, wait a minute, we're just going to wait until we have all of the itineraries put together. I do not envy the team that's trying to put those itineraries together right now. That's not an easy job. That is not an easy job, especially with Alaska, especially with, Princess and Holland pretty much own Alaska. They have first dibs on everything because they've been doing it so long. So yes, Virgin Voyages is coming to Alaska. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be the Brilliant Lady. It will start in May of 2026. That's what we've been told. They've already got the itinerary up where the ship is going to sail from Los Angeles up the coast and go to Vancouver. That's happening in April, May. We already know that. So we know when the ship is going to be there. Now we're just waiting for the rest of the itineraries to come up. I know, Virgin Voyages in Alaska. What is Scarlet Night going to look like? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's one place the small pool will make sense.
Yeah, that would make total sense. And is anybody going to get in the pool? Maybe the Kraken will be replaced by polar bears.
Ooh.
That would be kind of fun. That would actually be kind of fun. So so Virgin Voyages is coming to Alaska. So, and speaking of Alaska, I'm going to go back to my group cruise here. The Oceana Riviera. These are the restaurants that are included in your cruise fare. You've got the grand dining room. So that's your main dining room. And like I said, on the Oceana Serena, that was better than most of the specialty dining that we've been to. Polo Grill is your steakhouse. Toscana is your Italian restaurant. Jacques Pepin, that is your French restaurant. Red Ginger is an Asian fusion. Terrace Cafe is the buffet. Now, on the Oceana Serena, every single night at dinner, we had made to order lobster tails, shrimp, lamb chop, catch of the day, and sirloin steak every single night at the buffet. That was just a buffet. That's all included. The Waves Grill out by the pool, every single day they were serving surf and turf sandwiches, so lobster steak sandwiches. I would get lobster hamburger sandwiches. That's what I was getting out there. It was so freaking good. They have an afternoon tea, and then, of course, they've got the barista specialty coffee, which, again, specialty coffee is included 24/7. If baristas is closed, they have a one-touch machine that I became an expert at by the end of that Serena cruise. So everything I just mentioned to you, all of those restaurants, they are all included in the cruise fare. There is no such thing as a specialty restaurant with an upcharge on the Oceana Riviera.
I don't even think there are any items for an upcharge as far as I'm aware. I'm trying to remember. I don't think so.
Items. The only thing that is an upcharge is some dining events.
Yes.
So they have Privé, which is a private table. Either you can request a meal or you just leave it up to the chef and they're going to make a private dinner for 10. Or they have La Reserve by Wine Spectator. So that is going to be a wine pairing with your meal. So those are two special dining events that are an upcharge. But all the restaurants, nope, you can just eat to your heart's content. And I'm going to tell you, man, the food is so freaking good. So some of the fun things that will be that are offered to you, they do have an evening whale watching quest. And now remember, with your cruise fare, you're getting a $600 shore excursion credit with the cabin. So you can use that for this. In Alaska's Wildest Kitchen in Icy Strait Point, Rebecca and I were hoping to do this together, but actually it's at the exact same time as the zip line. So I'm going to be on the zip line. Rebecca's going to be enjoying Alaska's Wildest Kitchen. They do have dog sledding on the Mendenhall Glacier out of Juneau. We're going to be doing a whale watching tour here. And then Muskeg Meadows Golf in Wrangell, Alaska, where if a raven picks up your ball and takes it, you just drop it and keep on playing. I thought about doing it, but I don't even remember what we're doing. We're doing something else instead. And as I mentioned, there is a pre-cruise Denali Land Tour if you want to do it. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to fly you up. You're going to fly up to Anchorage, do your land tour, and then they're going to bring you down to Seattle for the cruise itself. So if you want to do it, it's 4 days. You got two nights at the Marriott Hotel in Anchorage or something like that. 1 night at the Denali Park Village or similar. Denali Natural History Tour in Denali National Park. Now, I actually have not looked at the news to see if Denali National Park did officially reopen. I know that the Princess Lodge reopened and the Holland America Lodge reopened. I have not actually looked to see if the park is reopened after those fires. You're going to get a nice train tour. You get tours and sightseeing, full breakfast. So it's the whole 9 yards. It's a full 4 days Denali Land Tour if you want to add it. That's an optional item if you'd like to add it on top of the group cruise. And then on the ship, one of the cool things, they have a culinary center. Rebecca and I have already signed up for, what did we sign up for?
The dessert class.
The dessert class, of course. So we signed up for the dessert class. They got a whole culinary school on there. They have an art classroom on there. Of course, they got pickleball. You got to have pickleball. You got the casino. They actually have a full theater. So on the Serena, it was more like a lounge because only 650 passengers. It's more like a lounge. This ship actually has a full-on theater up front. Small theater, of course, but it does have a full-on theater. And then, of course, you do have the spa. So you've got all those luxury amenities that you want to have on a luxury cruise ship. Plus, we're going to have the ruggedness of Alaska out there as well. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And again, I have a very limited number of my verandas at the group rate. Now, you can book an interior. You can book an ocean view. Those will be at the standard prevailing rates that we have right now. And you will get all of those inclusions that I mentioned earlier. $600 shore excursion credit, all of your meals, soda and specialty coffee. Wi-Fi is included. Is that it?
Beer, wine, and champagne
with lunch and dinner.
With lunch and dinner in the restaurants.
Yeah. So if you book, any cabin that's outside my group, you will still get those things. So interiors and ocean views are still available. This is where those veranda there that I've got highlighted on the left. Those I have 2 categories that are significant savings. Plus, you're getting those bonus amenities on top. Concierge veranda. That's actually what Rebecca and I booked. In the beginning, we actually had some concierge verandas as well. They went first. They were gone very quickly. But concierge veranda adds even more amenities on top. And then you start getting into all of the suites. The suites on this ship are absolutely amazing, all the way up to, in fact, it might even be the owner's suite that literally just wraps around the back of the ship. So there are still quite a few categories left on the sailing, so you don't just have to be limited to the veranda cabin if you want to book. Again, I'm just going to shoot right back to the top here. But this is the Oceana Riviera. We're sailing June 26th through July 8th, 2025. If you would like to join us, I can tell you we do not have very many cabins left at this group rate. The actual fare savings is like around $1,000-ish. I'm not permitted to tell you exactly what. And plus, you're going to get the bonus amenities on top of that. So it's going to be an amazing cruise. We're thinking about flying up to Seattle maybe 3 days early just to go hang out in Seattle. When we went to Alaska last time, Seattle was basically the quick stop. We just basically quick stopped that one. So great question. What about the single supplement on the May 2025 cruise? There are no solo cabins on this sailing. I know. So it's full price. I know. It's not fair. Oceana does have solo cabins. Just the Riviera and the Marina don't.
Yeah.
There's 2 ships in the entire fleet that don't have solo cabins. This is one of them. So if you're going to go by yourself, we do have a couple of solo travelers going with us, and they're paying the full fare for the cabin. So it's either pay the full fare or get somebody to come with you. Yeah, I know. I wish there was a better answer for that, but unfortunately, not for this one. Or are you talking about the Norwegian cruise? If you're talking about the Norwegian cruise, Norwegian Aqua, I'm sorry, that's the one in May. The Norwegian Aqua does have solo cabin. We don't have them in our group rate, but they have the solo studio. They have solo inside, solo ocean view, and solo balcony. So yeah, Norwegian has over 1,000 solo cabins across the fleet. So those are available on there, not at the group rate. They will be at prevailing rates, but they are available on the ship if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Alex, what's the better deal, Oceania all-inclusive or NCL and buying all the add-ons? For my money, it's going to be Oceania just for the food quality. The Norwegian doesn't hold a candle to it. Plus, you're also talking about 1,200 people versus 3,000 or 4,500. Really, really big ships. So what's the better value? That's going to be up to you. But for me, the better experience is going to be Oceania. It's because it's a smaller experience. There's so much that's included. It's not going to be quite so big and noisy and loud. So, but from a pure food standpoint, oh my gosh, I mean, Norwegian doesn't have anything that comes close to even the main dining room on Oceania, at least based on the Serena. So, you know, what's the better value? That's going to be up to you. Now, we've sent clients to Alaska on Norwegian. Most of our clients go to Alaska on Princess because Princess has been up there so long. They are absolutely amazing. We almost did this as a Princess cruise. And then we saw this one and we're like, oh my God, 12 nights. And we're actually going to be in Alaska for that long. And we fell in love with the Oceania Serena. So it's like, yeah, let's just go to Alaska on this. And we'll do a Princess. I think we're going to end up on Princess for that Hawaii cruise that we keep talking about. That's coming up too. So yeah, Barbara, if you were talking about Norwegian, yes, for solo. If you're talking about this one that's on the screen right now, Alaska, no, we don't have solos for that one. You would be paying full price. Great question. Absolutely great question. Excuse me for just a moment. And of course, we do have one more group cruise to talk about. My goodness, people, we have sold over a quarter of our cabins in the first week. Well, now we're coming up on 2 weeks. So yeah, we've sold a lot of cabins very quickly on this one. And we just sold another one today, almost sold 2 today. I've got some meetings tomorrow on this one. This is really, you guys are like really excited about this one. And it's so funny because I'm the guy that said, no Margaritaville, no. Because, you know, I was not going to book anybody on that original Paradise. You know, that other company that owned the ship did not do justice by it. But you know, what's so cool about this one, you know, this is a Spirit class ship. This is a good sized ship, 2,600 passengers-ish, somewhere in there. So this is what I call a real cruise ship. This is a bigger cruise ship. Number 2, this was done by Margaritaville at Sea. This was not done by another company. They designed what they were going to do with it, and they did a masterful job inside. The blending of the original Costa trim and what they've done with this ship and putting their branding and their stamp on it. I mean, that hull is hand painted. All the design and everything, that's hand painted. That's not just like stencils on the ship. And then throughout the ship, there's just so many great touches of Margaritaville that it really does feel like Margaritaville. And it was such a fun experience. That's what this ship is. This is not a perfect ship. This is not like a luxury. Oh my God, it's so amazing. This is just fun. And that's what it's supposed to be, laid back fun. It kind of has a similar vibe to like Virgin. Virgin's very chill and come as you are. It's kind of what this was too. It's kind of like chill, come as you are, have some fun. Hey, we got 13 lounges and bars and we got 13 margaritas. You should go try them all. You know, it's a really fun ship. So this is going to be February 11th through the 17th, 2025. I can't tell you the exact pricing, but I can tell you that 2 of you staying in a balcony is lower than just about any other cruise line I can put you on for 1 person in a balcony. The pricing is absolutely amazing for a group cruise, and it does include the prepaid gratuities as well. So February 11th through the 17th, we're going to have a captain vow renewal if you are married and you would like to partake in that.
Or if you just want to play along.
What?
Or if you just want to play along.
You just want to play along. Who cares? You know?
It's not legal, so whatever.
It's not legal at all. You know, we're just going to have some fun. So we can have some kids doing a vow renewal. That would be great. That'd be fun. But everybody's invited, you know, friends, families. This is a family friendly ship. They have 4 levels of kids club. So totally family friendly ship. There is an adults only area in the very back of the ship. It's a lot of fun. So we're a 6 night Key West, Progresso, and Cozumel. We've never been to Progresso, so that'll be fun. It'll be fun for us to go check that out. And of course, as I said, there are special group rates with the prepaid gratuities. We are going to be on the ship again. I love, these are my photos. These are actual photos of the ship when we came back from the preview cruise as we pulled into Tampa. So that is the 5 o'clock somewhere pool up on the top and the Land Shark pool down below. The 5 o'clock somewhere pool actually has a roof that can close up when it's raining. Not completely waterproof, but it's dry enough. So we're going to leave from Tampa. Tampa, really cool sail away. I need to put up, I've got a longer video of the sail away. If you've sailed out of Florida before, but not Tampa, you know that when we sail away, we kind of push off. Within about 10 minutes, we're out, right? The pilot's off and we're out and we're off having a good time. Not in Tampa. It takes about 2.5 hours from the time you push off until we get to the Skyway Bridge. Once we cross under the Skyway Bridge, now we're out of the channel. All of that time, you are in the channel, just moseying along through the channel. So it was a really, really interesting sail away coming out of Tampa. That was our first time doing it. So we're going to go to Key West. We're trying to put together a group excursion of a Jimmy Buffett history tour of some sort. At the very least, we're going to DJ's Clam Shack to go get lobster rolls. Then we'll have a cruising day, probably the vow renewal on the 13th because it's a sea day. We're going to see how the schedule lines up on Valentine's Day. If we can maybe do it on sail away or something like that, that could be fun. Then we'll go to Progresso, Cozumel, another sea day, and then back to Tampa. That is the schedule for now. No times as of right now. This is just what we've got. But you can see the beautiful 5 o'clock somewhere pool up there. Here's the Land Shark pool. Fun. That's what it is. It's just fun. Like you look at it and it just kind of, it makes me smile when I see these colors and I see all of this. That is the vibe of the ship. It is absolutely fun. So we've got ridiculous, and I do mean ridiculous rates on breezy balcony, picturesque ocean view, and cozy interior. At least a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter of our cabins are already gone. When those are gone, I can guarantee you Margaritaville is not going to give us this price again for any more. They might give us a good price again, but not this price. This price is really, really good. So we've got the special group rate on those 3 categories. Prepaid gratuities are added in. Not only is it a good rate, the gratuities are in there. It's so awesome. And of course, we're going to have the vow renewal led by the captain. We're going to have some other group events too that we're thinking about, maybe some games. We're not going to make this like wall-to-wall group. We know you guys want to come on and just have a good time. So we're going to let you guys have a good time. But we're going to have a few things, here and there for y'all to do. This ship was actually built in 2000. It was the Costa Atlantica. She went through about 5.5 months of dry dock. She was a white ship when she came into the Belfast shipyard. And this is what she came out looking like. She looks absolutely, in person, she looks absolutely beautiful. It was so much fun. Here you can see the 5 o'clock somewhere pool with her roof closed up. So it is nice, and we had some serious rain during our preview cruise, and then even on the second cruise that we were on 2 cruises for 6 nights. So it was nice having the roof closed. You see the Land Shark pool on the right, on the left, and on our right. On the right, that is the adults only area with an original statue from the Costa era, which is now holding a margarita. She was not holding a margarita when Costa had her, but now she is. So that's one of the really cool things. There's a lot of original things from Costa around, and Margarita just went in and added their own touch to it. This was a big surprise for me. I've talked about this before. There on the left, in fact, both of those pictures right there, that is the Hemisphere Dancer Craft Spirits Bar. It really did remind me a bit of the World Class Bar on Celebrity. I'll admit the World Class Bar, I think, is a better bar, but it's also much smaller. But this was a serious craft spirits bar. They did a really, really nice job of mixing the drinks, and it was really, really popular. Oh my goodness, it was really, really popular. So, and that was impressive to me. So, so I missed a couple of questions here. I'll stop there for the moment. There's Tara's excited. I'm glad you're excited. Aaron is saying, which Princess cruise to Hawaii are we talking about? Is that a possible group cruise? Yes.
It's still in the
it's still in the planning phase, but we are going to, the plan right now is to make it a group cruise. What was the time frame that we were looking at?
Well, I'm not entirely, we'll see. We're still talking.
Hey, Aaron, the answer is we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about it. What we want to do is we want to do a loop from Los Angeles to Hawaii and back. It's going to be about 15 days-ish. That's usually about the time frame. And part of the reason for doing that and not flying to Hawaii and doing the loop there is because we want to also go to Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland. Rebecca was a long time ago.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Yeah, so like if anybody else in the group wants to do it too, we'll put together the whole package, Disneyland and the cruise. But that's the idea. So we were looking at March 26th. I don't know exactly.
Well, February, March 26th.
February, March. Okay,
but we'll
February,
see.
March 26th is kind of.
It may or may not. It may get pushed back till 27. We'll see.
It will not get pushed to 27 unless we're going to Europe. Unless we're going to Europe, which that might also do too. So
yeah, we got to figure out a plan of action.
Is Margaritaville doing anything to the Paradise ship? They already did. So Margaritaville at Sea took over in September of 2023. They bought out the original company, shoved everybody out. They sent the ship back in for a dry dock at that time. It was only like a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. At this time, there are no plans to send the ship back in. The ship is actually doing rather well as is. What Margaritaville was telling me on the ship was, look, that ship has an audience. People love that ship for what it is. And their focus right now is, there is a third ship coming. They have planned for a fleet of ships. So I think the plan right now is, the Paradise is pretty good. It's in a pretty good place right now. We're just going to let the Paradise. We've already gone in and we've improved something. People seem to like the improvement. So we're just kind of leaving it where it is for now. We're going to keep our focus. I heard that the CEO had already been out looking at another Costa ship. So yeah. Rick, did we try JWB Steakhouse on Margaritaville? We did not get a chance to try it this time. However, our friends Rocky and Mark, if you saw any of my TikToks, they were with us from this cruise line. They said it was excellent, just excellent. So I'm hoping to get back down there September, October. I just want to go back down, check the ship, see, because we were on it like literally right when everything was getting started. So there were some issues with some things. I want to go back September, October and see now that they've got their groove on and go see what it's all about. But I'm hoping to try that as well. So Alex is saying a big fat no to waiting on the Hawaii thing. And
well, it's
and Aaron is excited.
It's from a personal standpoint, it's just tough because we've got a lot of things that are coming up next year.
Yeah.
So then to make a deposit on something we'll see.
We'll see. We're working on it, because it's like we're trying to figure out. We know we want to get over to Europe. I know I want to do the Queen Mary 2. I want to go over to Europe. Oh my God! Speaking of the Queen Mary 2, guess what I just booked? This is so awesome. I have a client who actually I've got 2 clients now who are going to be on the ship for the solar eclipse in 2026. But this client that I just booked, she's doing 21 days round trip from New York. She's going to sail from New York City, go to Southampton in 7 days. And then she's going to do a 14-day sailing from Southampton over to Iceland, where the solar eclipse will happen on August 12th, I believe it is, 2026. And then they will come back to New York. She's doing 21 days on the Queen Mary 2. And she's getting the solar eclipse in 2026. Oh my God, it's such an amazing cruise. Because she was like, I want to do this 14-day thing. I've got time. I was like, oh, you got time? All right, hold on a minute, because the actual solar eclipse cruise starts in Southampton. I said, I'm going to see if she's doing a crossing right before that. And sure enough, she was. The Queen Mary 2 is the last ship that I know of that still does regular transatlantics. So she does about 30 transatlantics. So if you're somebody that really doesn't want to fly over the pond and you've got time, you can fly to New York, take the ship over, and then go do what you're going to do. Go do your river cruise, go do your land tour, go do your ocean cruise, whatever. And then if you time it right, you could actually take the ship back, and then all you've got is a domestic flight. And if you live in the Florida area like we do, if you go over there in the fall, you might actually catch a ship all the way back to Florida. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to do. But yeah, so it's 21 days on the Queen Mary. She's got a balcony. And The best part of the whole thing is I was able to save her a boatload of money because our consortium has a group on that sailing. So it was awesome. Where's Walter Travel is part of KHM Travel Group, but we're also part of a big consortium called Travel Leaders Network. Travel Leaders Network had a group on that sailing. It was awesome. So I was able to save her a bunch of money. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but she's going. She's doing 21 days by herself in a balcony. She is sitting pretty with that one. Oh my goodness gracious. I am so freaking excited. So yeah, so that's all going on there. I didn't quite get through all the Margaritaville. Let me just jump back into that one real quick. I'll walk you through. I told you earlier they have 13 bars, 13 different margaritas. So yes, there will be a margarita crawl. You're gonna have to do a margarita crawl. The entertainment was actually rather surprising. The stage was really, really nice for a 24-year-old ship, you know, with the different lifts and the whole ship rotates. Conky Tonk, the country show, I thought was better than the Caribbean remix, but people seem to be enjoying the remix as well. Yes, we're going to Key West. And the reason why I say the birthplace of Margaritaville, because he apparently actually had another store, like in Alabama, like one of the A states, I think, that didn't do well. But this is the first one that did really, really well. So it's considered the birthplace of Margaritaville. We want to do some sort of a history tour down there as well. We're definitely going to go to DJ's Clam Shack. I know Aaron went to DJ's Clam Shack last month during the cruise, and he said, yes, he enjoyed it. It was absolutely true. Everything we said about it was absolutely true. So that was great. And there are a ton of packages. I want to say the drinks package is around $59 a day per person-ish, somewhere in there. And then you can get 10% off if you order it in advance of the cruise, which is great. But they've got about 10 different packages. It's almost confusing. They got drink packages. They got drink and dinner packages. They have dinner packages. They got spa packages. There's a lot of packages on this ship that you can look through. And if you go to our website, there's a link that'll take you right to. And you need to make sure you're looking at the Islander. There are different packages for the Paradise because the Islander is so much bigger. They can offer a lot more things. So
and they're doing longer cruises.
Yeah. So yeah, the Islander is going to be doing up to 7-day cruises next year. We're going to be on the very first 6th night. It'll be the first time she's doing a 6-night cruise. So that's actually going to be kind of cool. The accommodations translated from the rendering brilliantly. They really are beautiful rooms. Last I heard, there were still 2 signature. I haven't talked about this, but there were 2 signature suites still left on the ship. We still have one at a group rate if it's still available. I don't know if the signature, this sailing is selling real. I think this sailing is going to be sold out by the time we go. Every time I call, it's amazing how well this particular sailing is selling. It might have something to do with Valentine's Day. It might have something to do with the fact that it's the first 6th night. I don't know. But this sailing itself is selling really, really well. But we did have a signature suite at a group rate as well. I don't know if there's still any left on the ship. You had the breezy and the extended balcony. The cabin itself is exactly the same. The extended balcony is about twice the depth. And ours had an actual teak balcony, which was really nice. That's not part of the group rate, but you can get it. There's also the Grand Terrace suite. That's actually what Rebecca and I went ahead and booked for ourselves. We're in a corner suite on the back, a little wraparound balcony back there. So that'll be the party suite back there, I'm sure. Rebecca will be probably hiding while we're having the party.
Only if you party before 10 p.m.
Only if you party before 10. We're late nighters. Then there's the cozy interior and the picturesque ocean view. So once again, I've got the breezy balcony, I've got the picturesque ocean view, and I've got the cozy interior all at the special group rate. That include the prepaid gratuities. And it's going to be a fun group cruise. I can't wait. So again, let me just shoot right back to the top and get up there to where that pretty picture is. But that's what we're going to be doing for Valentine's Day next year. You know, when I saw the Valentine's sailing, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be perfect. Let's go for Valentine's Day. And of course, you know, it had to be Key West.
You did do a poll whether Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day would be.
If you come join us in our private Facebook group, let me go ahead and reset that. I actually did a poll in the group, and I said, hey, if we do a group cruise, would you prefer Thanksgiving or Valentine's? Because we did a great group cruise last year We took about 20 people or so on the Valiant Lady. A lot of people who had never been on Virgin Voyages. So we took them on Virgin Voyages, and they had a fabulous time for Thanksgiving. Everybody's like, wow, I really like cruising for Thanksgiving. This is awesome. And we put a poll in our private Facebook group. So if you're not in our private Facebook group, there is a link in the description down below to join it. I encourage you to join it. It's like we're around 600 people or so in there. It's a really nice little community. It's a positive community. Let me tell you, it is a positive community. You don't even get one strike if if you're rude to somebody or something, you're out. So we just keep it fun, positive. We just want to share. And it was a result of that poll saying Valentine's Day that we went ahead and set up this group for Valentine's Day. So that is going to be the fun. So that's what we got to talk to you about tonight, guys. And we're so excited. So much going on. Gosh, there's so much going on.
And I just as a side note,
Yes.
You wanted to talk about the fact that ships can close.
Oh, we just had a situation today which kind of came up out of nowhere, and I felt a little bad about this. Cruise lines can close their ships at any time. Hey, we're done. We're done. It's closed now. And we had a situation where I was talking to a client, I think it was this past weekend, and I looked at it with the Oasis of the Seas. And I looked, and there was plenty of inventory there. They were asking about getting another cabin. Yeah, sure, we can get another cabin. Not a problem. Ship's not sailing till September. We got plenty of time. I went in today. Ship is closed. Like literally, the whole ship is closed. And then I started looking, and it's like a dozen of the Oasis of the Seas sailing that just suddenly closed. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. And so I had to tell the client, I'm really sorry, but we can't actually add that cabin because the ship is closed. And now it's closed for one of two reasons. One, it is actually sold out for real. And now they're allocating all of the guaranteed cabins. So that's it. We can't sell anymore. And they're out. Actually, it's either sold out or they're allocating there's two reasons. One, it truly is sold out. Two, right now they've closed it so they can allocate all the guaranteed cabins. And then it will reopen again once all the guarantees are completely done. That's one of the two things that happen. But as you start to get closer, once you get past final payment period and you start getting closer to the cruise, things can happen rapidly where all of a sudden it's closed and the client's like, well, can't you call Royal Caribbean? It's like, they're working with the same booking engine I am. It's closed. And she's like, well, can we add somebody to a cabin? No, it's literally closed. We can't even add somebody to a cabin because everything is closed right now. And they're not going to let me add somebody to a cabin because then that affects the lifeboats and the muster station and all of that stuff. And when a ship closes,
But like you said, there's a possibility that, maybe in a few weeks, maybe
it might
be an opening.
But the big point is we're not giving any warning. I had no idea. It wasn't like I got an email from Royal Caribbean going, hey, by the way, in the next day, we're going to close this ship. So if you got anybody who wants to go on it, you better book them now. No, that doesn't happen. We just go into the booking engine and boop, it's gone.
Although I will say, at least with Princess, pretty much you can be guaranteed that 2 to 4 weeks before sailing, they'll be closed.
Yeah,
regardless of where the cabins are.
Ships are closing earlier now, I think, than they used to, more like 2 weeks out, at least, where the cruise lines are just closing it out and saying, okay, we're done. No more bookings on these cruises. So a lot of times you don't have people like, well, can I book like 2 days out or 3 days out? In some cases you can, but more and more the ships are starting to close earlier. So just be aware of that. And it kind of sucks too, because we don't know. I'm looking at a ship this past weekend that has all this inventory on it, and then all of a sudden it's just closed. And I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. I wasn't expecting that because it's like the end of September. We're in the beginning of July. So I would have expected maybe at the end of July, early August, it would have closed. So it's just something, with that. Nurse Tara, your daughter's so upset that the BB sailing from New York City is sold out. Yeah, there's only like 2 sailings that are going to Bermuda and 2 that are going up to Canada. There's only a couple. They're just a couple of token sailings. Now, I would suspect that after the Alaska season, in 26, she's going to come back. Now, whether she'll summer in Miami and then come up to New York, after that remains to be seen. But my expectation is either for winter 26 or spring 27, she will be back up there. But yeah, it's just not that much. But yeah, if they come back in 26 at all, it will be for the winter season. But I honestly don't see the ship being up there for the winter.
No.
I think it's going to be in Miami. It may be, they could also throw a surprise and send her to Galveston. You never know. At least for a short season, they may send her into Galveston because Galveston can handle, bigger ships. And she's really not that big of a ship compared to the Oasis and the Excel class and all of that. So they could send her into Galveston for a season too. But I would suspect she's going to come back up, maybe in the summertime, the spring or summer of 27 is when she'll come back. We have heard some rumblings that in August, some new Virgin Voyages itineraries may be released. These could be going deep into 26, maybe even into 27. We don't expect the Brilliant Lady to be a part of that, but the other ships, we may hear going more into 26, 27 for the other three ladies ship. And that may come in August. We're hearing some rumblings that may be in August. But of course, Virgin's going to release them when they want to. we're always surprised by them. It's like, So, but Virgin Voyages is not done in New York. She was really well received up there. I think they could have left her up there a little bit longer rather than just bringing her down to Miami like they're doing. But at least they know, yes, New York is ready for Virgin Voyages. And I think the Brilliant should sit up there for an entire season. Again, Alaska, nobody had that on their bingo card. I don't even think anybody at Virgin Voyages had that on their bingo card. So now she's doing a full season up there. And now they've committed to it. And now I think they're really trying to figure out how they're going to do it, because I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest with you. There are so many ships up there. How do you get a ship in when all the slots are already full? Because here's one of the things that some of the cruise lines do. They may have a slot even if the ship isn't going to be there, because they might change the schedule around and then we want it. So then Virgin Voyages would have to pay that cruise line to get the slot, kind of a thing. So yeah, there's a lot of chess and all of this stuff, and how do we do it, and can we do a tender? Because you've noticed there's some tenders in Alaska that we've never had before because there's too many ships up there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Virgin Voyages when she comes back to New York, how long she's going to be in New York. But yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting up there. But hey, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with Virgin up in Alaska. I don't know. I've got people waiting I got people who are first, in the front of the line type thing. They did that front of the line deal. So that's going to be really interesting. So folks, let's see. So Sunday morning, we're going to be back. Now, Sunday morning, we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be live at 10 a.m. Eastern time till 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Because at 12 noon Eastern time on Sunday, I'm going to be live with Gary Bembridge. He's invited me to come on Tips for Traveler for the hour from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern time. So our show is going to be 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. this coming Sunday, special time this coming Sunday. So I can get myself ready I got to get on with Gary about 15 minutes early so we can test everything. But yeah, I'm going to be talking with Gary Bembridge. He is, I'll tell you what, one of the nicest guys in the world. We're so thankful for his support. You see that we're proud travel partners with Sean and Stef, Cruise RX, and Joy of Cruising podcast down in the lower right. Gary says, you don't need to put my name up. You don't need to do anything. But he does support us. We are one of 2 travel agents in the United States that he recommends to his viewers. And we have had a steady stream of people coming over to us going, hey, we saw that Gary mentioned you and we should talk to you. And we're very thankful for his support, for everybody's support. And yeah, we're going to be live on his show for an hour on Sunday. So that should be a lot of fun. So cool that we can do this, right? He's going to be in London. I'm going to be here. And it's just so cool that we can do this. It's going to be so much fun. I know. Yes, it is going to be awesome that we're going to be together, guys. Thank you so much for the kind words. And hopefully Tony and I are going to do something together again soon. That was so lovely having lunch with him and Jenny over in Tampa. So hopefully Tony and I are going to do something at some point. I'm trying to get him to go on one of our cruises. I'm trying to get him to go on the Margaritaville cruise with him. Like, come on, Tony, come on the Margaritaville cruise. Get Jenny, come on the ship. Because they live over in the Tampa area, so he's got no excuse, really. Y'all, you should do a campaign. Start writing to Tony. Say, go join Walter on his cruise. Okay, La Lita Loca. Y'all go start putting comments on all of his stuff.
Oh, leave him
I
alone.
guarantee you, he'll call me in a couple of days going, did you just tell everybody to start putting comments? He's a super nice guy. I'm going to keep working on him, though. I'm going to keep working on him. So, folks, thank you so much for joining in. Of course, if we can help you in any way with your travels, our services are 100% free to you. Just reach out at where'swaltertravel.com. We would love to help you out. On behalf of my lovely wife, Rebecca, and myself, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Well, I don't know what I just said. Sunday morning, 10 a.m.
Thursday.
Eastern time. And then next Thursday night, we'll be back at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So everybody, have a fabulous evening. See you soon.